Let's talk Tanya for the 5th of Elul of Yelip year. Today we begin a new letter in Tanya, a new chapter 12, a letter also about tzedakah, and it begins with a verse from Yeshaya, and the verse is V'hoya Maisa HaTzedakah Shalom Va'avodas HaTzedakah Hashket Uvetach Ad Olam, which means that God is saying that the act of tzedakah will be rewarded with peace, and the service of tzedakah, its reward is tranquility and security that lasts forever. And the question that's bothering the Alter Rebbe over here is that it seems to be that the pasuk is being redundant, saying the same thing twice. But the wording of the pasuk is different. There is first it talks about the act of tzedakah, and then it talks about the service of tzedakah. What is the difference between the act of tzedakah and the service of tzedakah? And there's also a difference in the reward. The act of tzedakah is rewarded by shalom, which is peace, and the service of tzedakah is rewarded by tranquility and security, which is ad olam, which is eternal. And what is the difference between peace and tranquility and security? And all of this we have to figure out. And as you're probably used to this pattern by now, the Alter Rebbe begins with a question, and then the Alter Rebbe goes off into a whole explanation in Chassidus, and the answer to the question will come at the end of the chapter. So the first thing we're going to do right now is we're going to examine a little of the Chassidic understanding of peace. What is peace, and how is peace accomplished? So in davening every day we say, Shalom b'mreimav, hu yasa shalom aleinu, that the one who makes peace in heavens, he also should make peace for us. Now we need peace because human beings are susceptible to get into fights with each other, to bicker. But what does it mean that God makes peace in the heavens? Are the angels also fighting with each other? They also have jealousy? Like, what's going on? Why does God have to step in and mediate and bring about peace? So the Medrash tells us that actually this pasuk, Oiseh Shalom b'mreimav, which describes God making peace in heavens, is actually describing a very specific incident that happened. And that is, in the time right before the Jewish people left Egypt, and God was busy inflicting plagues upon Egypt. One of the plagues that God wanted to inflict upon Egypt was the plague of hail. But this was no ordinary hail. It was ice, but there was fire in the ice. Now we know that naturally water and fire are natural enemies, and when the two meet with each other, either the water will extinguish the fire or the fire will evaporate the water. And what does God do? How does God make peace between them? So everything that happens over here in this world is a reflection of a deeper reality, which is that in the heavens there are two angels. There's the angel of Michal, and he is the Sar Shel Mayim, he's the angel of water. And then there's Gavriel, who is the Sar Shel Eish, the angel of fire. And because of their respective differences, they don't get along with each other. So what did Hashem have to do? Hashem had to Oiseh Shalom b'mreimav. He had to make peace, negotiate some sort of peace agreement between Michal and Gavriel, and that allowed the plague of hail to happen. Now, it's not only fire and water. Fire and water are just physical manifestations of spiritual realities. The underlying spiritual reality behind water is chesed, is kindness. Water is compared to chesed, just like kindness is when something extends and gives out. Water also is constantly flowing downward. Fire is the opposite. Fire is gevura, severity, constantly reaching upward. And kindness and severity, or kindness and discipline, or kindness and restraint, these are two opposites, opposing philosophies in life. And Michal, who is the water angel, represents chesed, kindness, and Gavriel represents gevura, represents severity. So making peace between Michal and Gavriel means actually bridging the divide between chesed and gevura, which God managed to do in order to bring about the plague of hail. How did that happen? What was the magic wand that caused this peace between fire and water, Michal and Gavriel, chesed and gevura, kindness and severity? The answer to that will come in tomorrow's Tanya.